I think we're live. Hey, what do you know? Look at that. So, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, wherever you are. I'm WT Lightheart from the Prosperity and Health Alliance, live and loud from Vancouver, British Columbia. It's a beautiful day outside. The sun is shining. The clouds are rolling back. The mountains, the oceans look absolutely beautiful. But there's no better place than to be here at the Prosperity and Health Alliance. Just got back from California. It was a phenomenal time down there. I love California. It's a great place. And of course, that is the epicenter of the Enagic business. But the reality is here in Vancouver is right now this year, the number one selling or doing the most volume in all of Enagic worldwide. And why is that? That is because of people like yourself who are contributing in the online world, who are leveraging the online side of business and who are taking this business to the next level. So whether you're doing this business traditionally through the physical demos, the stages, the events, the one-on-ones, the traditional forms of direct sales marketing, affiliate marketing, MLM, whatever, network marketing, whatever you want to call that, or whether you are leveraging an online digital system, there's a couple of things that you really need to understand. And there's really three things that you're selling. And by the way, for those of you who have questions, we're going to take questions at the end. So just raise your hand, type the questions in, that sort of thing. But the bottom line is this, is what are the things that you're selling? And you know, I was thinking there's three things that Enagic you're selling. And you have to understand this. Now, one of the things that I didn't grasp when I got started on this early on was, what was I really selling? And number two is recognizing that there might be things that are valuable to me, but if my pitch or my presentation is only, you know, catering to the things that are important to me, I'm going to miss a whole area of business that I could be having in my business because of my limited perceptions, assuming that everybody's like me, and that's a mistake. We're going to share with you how to overcome that kind of limited mentality. So the question is first, what are you actually selling? What in your business, in this business, pretty much in any business, but particularly with this company and this organization, you're selling the three healths that Mr. Oshiro talks about. Health, you know, physical health, you're telling financial health or wealth, and then you're selling security, peace of mind, right? Physical health, he says, you know, drink the water, you get physical health, do the business, you get financial health. When you have both of those, you have mental or spiritual health, the three healths. So the question is how are you promoting your business? How are you going at your clients? Are you coming from just the health perspective? Are you coming from the wealth perspective? Are you coming from a spiritual or contribution method or peace of mind things? Because ultimately, what are you really selling? Well, you're selling two things: freedom and security. Think about that for a second. You're selling freedom and security. Now, you might be freedom from a health condition, freedom from financial scarcity, freedom from the little demons in our mind, or securing your health because you're concerned about your health, or securing your financial self, your financial fortune or your financial future, your security, or securing peace of mind. Really, and if you look at those two buzzwords, freedom and security, they're catering to the animal nature inside our brain, the reptilian part of our consciousness that's right down at the amygdala, the lower brain center, that is always looking for survival, for fear. And this is a big emotional center. And outside is all these areas or these thoughts or these ideas of how we're going to alleviate the fear of the animal brain. Whether that's financial or physical health or financial health, everybody's programmed in a different way. And you, as a person who is bringing this business to the world, bringing this opportunity to this world, whether it's a health opportunity or a business opportunity or a future, a security or opportunity, you have to realize that you need to find out the information that is going to allow you to determine which category that person fits to. You need to do this very quickly, and you need to find out what the, say, signposts that person has, it's going to help them with their security, how they're going to achieve whatever it is. So first you find out, is that person looking to make more money or to be healthier? And then when they go into one of those categories, you guide the presentation either on the benefits of the health technology or the benefits of the business system. And then from there, that always leads to usually a peace of mind conversation. And ultimately, it leads to some form of freedom and some form of security. And these are the points that you need to hit inside your presentation. So the question is how do you find that out? How do you get to that ultimate level of freedom? Well, first, you've got to ask questions. A lot of people, when they're presenting, they're broadcasting what they think is important, and that's going to hit a certain amount of people. But if you're not asking questions, engaging the person in a way that allows them to tell you what they're looking for. So you need to, number one, ask questions, and number two, find out what they're looking for. Number two, listen to their answers. And number three, alter your presentation that truthfully explains the benefits of the program and why they are going to get XYZ figured out in their business or from this business or from this health technology that's going to allow them to produce the results or get the benefits that they want to have. So the bottom line is, how do you go about doing this? Well, number one, with a quick conversation, and let's go to a one-on-one presentation that you might be doing. Are you telling or are you asking questions? So the first thing is you want to find out, hey, look, what's just the most important to you, health or wealth? What are you looking, what's most important, or what's most important? Or you can listen to their comments. What's going on in your life? And you start in a broad way and you start in the negative, and they say, oh, well, someone's having health challenges or someone's having financial challenges. And these are going to be obstacles that come up in the sale later on. So you can address those later on in your presentation. That's why you got information. I prefer to take notes. Pen and paper, literally while I'm sitting there talking to a person, I'm actually taking notes. That also, by the way, makes you an authority, because people automatically think that you're taking the time to listen to them and write down the points. You can also save this later if you don't have the answers at that particular moment. This is often common when you're first starting out. You want to get those questions and say, I'm not sure about, let me get to you on that one. Is that the only question you have? I'm going to make a note of that, and I'm going to talk to someone on my team that can answer that question either for you directly, or I can get that answer and provide that for you. That offers a level of integrity. That means you don't have to make crap up, okay, about what you're doing or how the company works or how the presentation goes or any of that. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You can just tell them the truth. And if you don't know something, you just say, hey, you know what? I haven't got that question. It's a great question. Let me go out and get that answer for you. But in the meantime, don't let your presentation stop. Still drive a little deeper. Because oftentimes the first few questions that come your way are what I call their pseudo questions. They're not the real core issue that the person might have. And what you want to do is you want to kind of flip whatever the core issue is around in a way that will make your business or your technology be the answer to their question, if it legitimately is. And in our case, that's the case 99% of the time. If it's a health issue, 99% of the time, the water being added to their life is going to be of benefit far greater than the value that or the purchase price of the machine. The value is greater than the purchase price. If they're deciding to get involved in a business, I don't know a business that you can get started for at this level, get an amazing health technology at the worst case scenario, and make the kind of income or grow the kind of financial opportunities that, our company actually provides. It's a phenomenal experience. It's a phenomenal opportunity, and there's a phenomenal training. So in those early questions, you're qualifying them to see where they're at. Now, the piece when they come up with, oh, they don't have money, or they don't have the health that they need, they can't make the decisions, or they need a spousal help, or whatever those buying obstacles are going to come back. Well, that's where the salesmanship comes in. Number one, the first thing that you need to understand when you are promoting or a product or a service or something along that lines is to get to the idea where you are expecting that they're going to have some sort of objections. So don't be fearful of objections. You want to look for the objections, find the objections, and overcome the objections with reason, with logic, and with strong positive emotionality. And you do this by a combination of deflection and systematically bringing up the positive benefits of the program, because oftentimes people can't actually hear you. How many times have you done a presentation and you know you have the solution for that problem, but they're so hung up on their buying limitation or their story that they can't actually hear your presentation? We've all been there. We all know what that is. And so you have to realize that everybody, or most everybody, is in one of those situations. 99% of the people are not a laydown. You do get those where people just say, yeah, I heard about this machine. I want one. Can I order one? Hey, I love those. But where your skill set is going to be honed, where you're going to become a world-class expert, where you are going to be able to name your ticket to make whatever kind of amount of money you want or help as many people as you want with our technology, well, that's going to be determined on your ability to anticipate questions coming or limitations about buying decisions about that, and to gracefully go at it. So the first thing is I want you to write this down. When someone comes at you with a question or an objection, you want to say, I hear what you're saying. So they say, well, you know, the machine, here's the big one, right? The machine costs $5,000 a month, right? That's so common. You know, let me put that mic a little closer. The machine costs $5,000 a month. That's just too much money. You know what? I hear what you're saying. And I felt the same way as you, but then I learned about all the benefits of the technology. Let me ask you a question. How much are you spending on water right now? How much are you spending on cleaners in your life? How much are you spending? What do you suppose the cost of taking in herbicides, pesticides, and fungicides in your life and your family's life over the course of the next 10, 15, 20 years? What do you suppose that you'll be spending on bottled water in the next 10, 20 years, or subjecting yourself to chlorine, fluorine, and a host of chemicals in your city municipality that have deleterious effects on your health? Maybe they're concerned about, well, they're not making enough money in your business. And you're like, well, how old are you? You're 35, you're 45, you're 55. Well, what have you been doing up to this point? And they tell you what's been going on and say, hey, look, no disrespect on what you've been doing. I think you've been working hard. You seem like an honorable person, and I think you're on the right track. But would you say that if you continue doing what you're doing now, are you going to be in a better place in the next 5 years and the next 10 years than you currently are? And if they honestly answer that question, they're going to answer the objection for you. And they're going to say, well, no. And so, well, are you open to looking at another option that might provide you the freedom and the security and the peace of mind that you're looking for, or a better state of income, or a better level of health if what you're currently doing is damaging your health or using up all your time, you're in a commute, you don't have the freedom that you want? If you come back with those questions and allow them to answer these limited buying behaviors, then that's going to make a big difference inside your life. So again, you expect, you deflect, you promote, and then you ask a question to come back down and control the movement of the sale. And if you want to get really in depth with this, I recommend that you check out Jordan Belfort's Straight Line Persuasion. It's a phenomenal course. You can also look at some other courses that I like Jordan. Not everybody likes his personality or how he goes about it, and I'm certainly not advocating you become like Jordan, but you have to understand the role of this, of how the flow of a sales process goes, and then how to get past that person's limited buying belief. Because at the end of the day, what are we doing? What are we selling? Well, we're selling people an opportunity. We're selling people an opportunity for better health. We're selling people for better finances. We're offering people financial security that most people, we know the facts of them are, the facts are in. 98% of the population dies broke, right? 98% of the population, or 95% dies with less than $1,000 in their bank account when they expire. So we know that finances are going to be an issue. We also know that the disability life expectancy, the life expectancy disability adjusted is that by 60 years old, people are on permanent prescription medications and their lives are compromised. That's most of the population. So one of these 2 points are going to be pain points that maybe that person kind of knows but doesn't want to address, and they have a certain amount of a defense system around it that we're going to take apart systematically, not because we want to take them apart, but because we want to take away the programming so that we can actually get to the core issues that you have or that person's has, so that we can legitimately help them move forward in their life and take advantage of this incredible opportunity, whether it's for their health or whether for their finances or someone that they love. That is the key to selling. So what are we selling? We're selling health, we're selling wealth, we're selling peace of mind. Really, it comes down to 2 things: freedom and security. Freedom from whatever pain they're feeling, and the security that it's not going to come back again. Really, that's really what we do. And in order to get that, we need to ask questions in a systematic method that goes down and recognize, expect the objections, expect the component where people aren't going to, they're going to have worry, they're going to have buying beliefs, and learn how to deflect, then present the additional benefits that address that issue, okay, in a positive and ethical way, and then come back with questions to allow them to answer and resolve the challenge within their heads. And they only have the average person has maybe 3 and maybe up to 5 at the most real objections. And your goal is to take those objections and actually leverage the objection to help them have a paradigm shift where they see that the objection is actually a limitation that's holding them back from having this. And they need to come to this conclusion themselves. And while they're doing that, at the key point, you're going to be in this position where you've got to be silent. And that is the key at the end. And there's like a little bit of uncomfortable tension when that happens, when they're in that place of decision. And rather than opening up and trying to go in another tangent at the point, you need to let that sit. You need to let that sit. You see how I'm doing that? You just need to let that sit and feel the tension come up. I will get to these questions in a minute. And as the tension builds, then you relieve the tension eventually by they're gonna go, you know what? They're gonna let that, you're gonna see that physiological side going, you know what, you're right. I can't continue doing what I'm doing. You know what? I can't live this way. I can't stop sacrificing my health, or I gotta find a better way for my finances. And then what do? Well, hey, guess what? You came to the right place, because not only do we have technology that has sales and service points all around the globe. Not only does our product is good for your health, it's good for your finances, it's good for the environment, but we have a system. Our system gives you mentorship. It has an incredible community. It has a step-by-step, hold your hand every step of the way, where we're going to make that decision. Today, when you open your business, when you get started with us today, you are opening up. The sale doesn't start there. You are just opening up a new relationship with a new possibility for health, for financial freedom, for community, for a great mission about transforming the health of the world. That's what we're doing. That's what you're going to be involved in. And it's up to you to determine at what level do you want to participate. But what I can say for you is this: the tax incentives for getting started more than offset the machine. The health benefits of the technology far outstrip the cost. The business and income producing possibilities in this business are second to none. So the question is, what is it that's holding you back? And as your advocate for you, allow me to help you overcome whatever challenge you're having right now. Let's open up that door. Let's hold hands. Let's lock arms. Let's take this step forward. And by doing that and communicating that, then you will be actually selling those things. That has nothing to do with the pH levels. It has nothing to do with the ionization levels. It has nothing to do with how many watts are through the machine. And those are all well and fine things. Or, is soda bad? And those are all well things. And I've presented on those information. But at the core aspect of the core component of what you need to communicate to people is getting to those things of freedom, of security, of better health, of better finances, and of peace of mind, and being part of a community, a system, there you have mentorship, that you have all of these things. And to do so, you ask questions and you find out and you listen to the answers, and then you take those answers and you repackage those back into questions to allow them to come to the conclusions that, you know what, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. It is. And that you're the right person that are going to help them open up the door, because you are. And we're going to be with them every step of the way so that they can grow and develop and get the things that they're actually looking for. That's it. That's what we do. We do not sell ORP. We do not sell pH. We do not sell microclustering. We do not sell antioxidants. We do not sell SDs and antisports. Those are devices that allow us to facilitate the communication of health, wealth, peace of mind, freedom, and security. That's what we do. And in order for this all to work, okay, this is all the technical, heady stuff or whatever, but in what has to happen is you have to take the mission, you have to take to what you're doing from your head into your heart and communicate that to your prospect, to your team, to your things, so that you know with absolute certainty, no matter what that person throws at you, you're here to help, you're here to make a difference. And that's what Oshiro is trying to transmit in his communication about working forward, that this is different, that we do things in a different way, that this is a different kind of company and we're doing things in a special way. And in order to get that from your head to your heart, you need this repeated over and over and over and over. You need to be on the webinars. You need to be watching videos. You need to be going to events. By the way, there's an amazing event that we're going to be talking about in November that you want to plug into. I'll be sending more information out very, very soon about that. Come to that event. Let's take pictures together. Let's get in the experience. Let's be around the top leaders inside the business that have had all the success. Let's get the technical devices, the tools, the research, all that sort of stuff. Not because of the tools, not because of their experience, because those experiences and that behavior and that energy gets transferred into you. The emotional connection gets into you, and that makes you so crystal clear so that you are on point, you are on your mission, and you become bulletproof and Teflon coated no matter what anybody throws at you. None of that crap, none of that negativity, none of that stuff sticks to you because you are solid within yourself. You know what you're selling. You know that you're here to help people. You know that you have the system. You know that you have the technology. You know that you have the community, the team, the mentorship. You've got the cookie. You've got the carrot. You've got everything that they need. And your only job is to help them get out of their own way so that you can communicate to them the benefits of our incredible program. Because let's face it, you and I both know this one thing. You and I both know that when you have one of these devices in your house and you're drinking this water every single day for years and years and years and years, I just went past 11 years on my machine. I still got my machine from 11 years ago. It's still producing water. I took it in, I got the filters changed. I did a bunch of work on it recently. It's as good as new. So I paid $4,000 for that machine. So over 11 years, it's $400 a month. You can filter it, $500 a year. I've been drinking pristine water, been washing vegetables. And by the way, I made millions of dollars from the technology. That's what you have. And that's what we're sharing. And that's the opportunity. So with that, I want to thank you for that. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the questions section of this. I've got this on recording. We're going to put it up on the PH Alliance. You can get that. And let's get to the questions right now. Will this presentation be available later? Yes. Yeah, let that sit. Feel the pain. Yes, thank you very much. If you have any questions, please feel to reach out. You can, that was the questions and answer. You can also go to the chat. I'm checking in the chat. And nothing there so far. And let me see if we got some hands raised. And if not, no hands raised. Okay, so we'll take it a little. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop the live. Bingo. And I'm going to stop the recording. Okay.